Alright guys, Reebok Classics limited edition box, and this is one of those that I really was waiting for a long time. And if you were following me on Instagram, you could probably saw it and you already know what it is, but without further ado, let me just go ahead and dive into it. So two original colorways were released from the Ventilator Supreme. And this is the first one, the charcoal, gray, royale, and gray again. Just a quick note right away, size 8.5, as you can see. The normal ventilators run a little bit bigger, like most of the Reebok retros. So I am 8 on those, but I found the hard way that I'm 8.5 on these, since they're now nowhere in the stores. I had to order size 8, they were too small, returned them. Luckily Reebok has free returns, and I got my regular 8.5. I'm saying regular because it's what I wear in Nikes, Jordans, and all the other brands. But yeah, just word of advice, go through size and get that one. Alright, so sliding out the box with a nice sound, like somebody's releasing an angel. But yeah, let me annoy you with some paper noise and take that box away to the side so I can talk to you about the kicks. So, first generation of the Ventilator Supreme. Some of you are aware, some of you are not. If you're a big Reebok fan like me, you probably already know. We are this year seeing a lot of retros and collaborations with for the first generation of the Ventilator, the original one, 25 years since that was released. Then almost at the same time we got the Ventilator Supreme, which is this one. This is the first retro ever from this model. And then of course we have a lot more generations after that. I have to say I'm a huge fan of the Ventilator line. Not as much as the first generations. I'm more of a probably second or third generation. I think they were a lot better. But regardless, this is absolute classic model for me, and I had to have it. Without further ado, let me just dive into it and show you what Reebok did with this retro. So first of all, combination of synthetic and genuine materials. You will see a lot of faux suede along with some real suede on that upper. A lot of mesh. Of course, Ventilator is all about the ventilation, obviously. So this striped mesh right here is the signature Ventilator super breathable mesh with no padding behind. And let me move the tone so you can kind of see the light behind it. Significant padding, a little bit on the stingy side. I think the original one had a lot better padding, as far as I can remember. Hexalite on the insole. Some of you, if you're aware more than I am, correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of think the original pair actually had Ventilator Supreme also written on the insole. But maybe I'm mistaken from another shoe. There's so many. Regardless, it's a nice touch. Unfortunately, the insole cannot be removed. It's one of those glued in. It's pretty thick from what I can tell by pushing it, and kind of reminds me of what they put on the Kamikaze 2s and a few other Reebok models, that moisture absorption and bacteria dissolving material that is kind of escaping my mind right now. I'm shooting blanks right now. But anyway, I think that's what it is. A little on probably some of you might not like that. I'm okay with it. They kind of darkened the midsole EVA, so it kind of looks more of a retro, like aged. I think it should have been fine. It was just completely white, like it was aged anyway. Reebok on the backside, really nice. A lot of reflective material is used around here. We have around here, which was kind of a Reebok thing back in the day. They used a lot of that on their runners. And of course right here on the toe. Same goes for the inside portion right there. Very, very comfortable shoe for everybody that likes runners for the summertime. Trust me, these are probably more comfortable than the original ventilator, which I have a few pairs, but these are just super soft. The midsole, the EVA used on the midsole is very responsive, and I absolutely like that. They run a little bit narrow on this portion right here, around where your kind of a lower portion of the midfoot is. If you're a really wide footer, maybe you should go even up half a size, because there's a slight pinch on the pinky toe right here. If you're a really wide footer, I'm kind of in between, so not that bad, but still just worth mentioning. Reebok Ventilator Supreme branding on the tongue, very nice and plush tongue, by the way. Speaking of that, there's a production date on here. Let me see if the camera can pick it up. It's January of 2015, so very new, very fresh. No bungees holding the tongue, kind of odd. Normally, but those first generation didn't have them, of course. But normally after that, Reebok added that to the construction of the shoe. Top-down view I really like as well. And then moving on to the nitty-gritty and the dessert of this whole thing, the outsole. As you can see, we have the Hexalite, of course, not the original Hexalite, but still a little bit better than some of the other pairs. I think they did something with it, Hexalite. At least it looks a little bit better. But as you can see, it's sort of a reversed. The empty space is the walls where it used to be, and actually hexagonal cells are just pylons, so to speak. So it's kind of weird. But anyway. No Hexalite branding anywhere on the outsole, which is kind of odd. I don't remember how the original was, but this one doesn't have it. And the main thing is this TPU bridge. So those of you that are aware or have seen any of the ventilators, all of the ventilator lines have different forms and shapes of these TPU bridges that are signature for the line. What I really like about this is because I'm one of those people that tend to shift their foot to the medial side when they walk, this side. This kind of helps me to keep my foot in place, and I really like that. The first and original ventilator has only the small arch right here. The Ventilator Supreme beefed it up, and they created this whole arch starting for like where the arch is of your foot all the way to almost to the heel. Of course, Reebok branding right here, really nice touch, and this prevents you to shift that foot inwards, like I said. I really like that touch, really comfortable. It was a killer back in the day. I absolutely loved it. It was probably one of the most comfortable runners I've put on my feet were ventilators with this kind of TPU setup. Later on, they kept the same big TPU for the later versions of the Supreme, and then the regular ventilator shifted the TPU actually towards the heel, so it was kind of placed in this section right here where the triangular one is, and removed from this section. So it was more placed to the heel, which kind of made sense a little bit more to me and looked aesthetically better, in my humble opinion. The mesh right here, it's really nice and breathable, and when I remove this paper, you can kind of see my fingers. You know, that means it's pretty thin, almost no padding here, which is great for breathability. Also, this synthetic suede they used is very nice and reminiscent to the original ones. I really like that touch as well. Overall, I think this shoe is 9 out of 10 for me. The execution is almost perfect, you know, minus a few little details like the Hexalite and here and there a few things that you've heard me talking about that before. But of course, these are retros; they're not the original ones, so of course, they're going to be a little bit different. They come with of course, the Reebok Reserve tag. It's kind of weird that this pair actually doesn't come with Hexalite tag, but you know, whatever. I guess they decided not to put it. But Reserve means they're somewhat limited, and they actually are. If you go to Reebok.com and select any of the sizes, it usually tells you there's limited quantity left in stock. So for those of you that want it, go ahead and grab them. So I was able to grab both pairs, both LGs ones with 30% off coupon that Reebok had for only one day. Luckily was able to bring that price down to about $100 a pair. Usually they're running $135, and then you have tax. Pretty good discount in my opinion. I think $100 it's a fair price for this pair. That what represents how comfortable they are. They're absolute classics. Been waiting for them since they got hinted last year. So I think it's a great pair. And just let me just pull the other one real quick and sneak it into this video. Of course, I'm going to do a whole separate one for it and show it to you. But just a quick comparison. Bam, bam. That's the black and red one, and then we have the gray and royale. Let me know which one you like more. I can't make my mind. Both of them look amazing to me, and the comfort is just mind-blowing with these kicks, damn kicks. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, for those of you that wait to grab them on a low. And the limited they are, I'm not sure if they will ever really go very low, so you can, grab. Normally that's what I do, but I sense that these will go away pretty fast. And, grabbing with 30% was pretty good in my opinion. Great summer shoe. Can't wait to start wearing them. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of lows and runners. Like I said many times before. Living in Atlanta, it's pretty hot most of the year. Probably until end of October, I'll be able to wear these lows and runners that I can switch back to the mids and highs and all that stuff. But yeah, whatever. That's pretty much it, guys. Thanks again for everybody supporting the channel. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. Stay tuned to CollectiveKicks.com for more sneaker news, reviews, and history articles. And of course, till next time, guys, have a great one.